now watching the wash daily. So it turns out the COVID-19 crisis, according to the UN, has caused cannabis to be really hard to come by, especially in Europe, where they have a hard time getting cannabis because they can't grow it there really. I know in Ireland, they were having a courier bring cannabis over from The Hague, over in the Netherlands. Scotland's starting to grow cannabis, and other countries are finally making it legal, and they're trying to get involved and trying to supply the needs of their own people, which they're having a hard time doing. So unfortunately, there's not enough cannabis to go around because the countries who are being active in cannabis aren't being active enough, and the rest of those countries, they don't have cannabis growing. But it's their fault because they should grow cannabis. The places that are growing cannabis are doing very well, benefiting from it tremendously. Cannabis is an essential item, and the cat is out of the bag. That is something we're supposed to have and that we actually need. Also in news, forecasters are looking at cannabis and the cannabis market to grow tremendously over the next few years. In fact, the beverage market is going to be about $3 billion, they figure, by 2025. One of the things that's happening in cannabis beverages, there's been a lot of research going on how to make cannabis hit you quicker. Typically, if you take an edible, it's going to take an hour. And they really want it to be like in 5 minutes. So one thing in the industry that's really exciting for those folks involved in cannabis beverages is the use of nano emulsions. Now, nano emulsions are actually pretty safe, it looks like, and what they do is they make oil and the water are more stable together and they don't separate. It becomes an ideal delivery method for drugs. And so cannabis companies are trying to make use of this, and specifically cannabis beverage companies. With the use of nano emulsions, they can make the effect of cannabis hit somebody pretty quickly in about 5 to 10 minutes, it looks like. And so there's one company in particular, and they're really going forward with this forward-thinking way of doing cannabis drinks, and it'll be exciting to see what happens in the next few years with cannabis beverages. They're supposed to take the market by storm, and it may end up being the primary way people ingest cannabis. Most analysts are looking at cannabis to be a $37 billion industry by the end of 2023. This is a difficult time to be forecasted because the markets are so uncertain. COVID-19 certainly has things going in a weird way. But one thing that's been established is that cannabis seems to be an essential item, and even through the hardest times for most businesses, cannabis was able to stay open in most places. Now, not everywhere has cannabis, but a lot of places are looking to fast track their programs to adopting legal cannabis. And one of the biggest problems with cannabis right now is how the law enforcement can figure out how to still bust people while having some cannabis legal. The 0.3% THC makes it a difficult thing to test for THC, and that seems to be the main thing that's holding it back. So the obvious thing to do is decriminalize, and that would solve all the problems actually we're seeing with legal cannabis. It should just be legal, just like everything else. Just like if you wanted to start selling tomatoes or marinara sauce. Thanks for watching The Wash Daily.